The perplexing issue that many people are confronted with is that you're told that you are God. So therefore, if that be the case, then I have unlimited power to make my life whatever I want. So then that instance brings you to the area where there's nothing off limits unless I'm wrong. So I'm God, so then I can create anything from nothing. So that means I can manifest $650 million in the middle of my living room from absolute nothingness. This means that there's nothing that's going to block me or stop me. So if I try my best to do something, I will be successful every time. There won't be any hindrances or impediments. There won't be any challenges because I'm God, so therefore I will these things not to be. They won't be in existence. There won't be a process to trust because I am the process. So that can manifest anything instantaneously. But then you're told that God is outside you and trust the process, and everything is inferred that this is an exterior or remote type of entity or power. And then when you try to do things, you're blocked, things are slowed down. If you don't find yourself being positive all the time, every time, this causes the process to be reset back to square one again. So this infers that you are not God. So this is what confuses people. And then when you try to make things happen, you're blocked or rejected or stopped, and the messages tell you, well, it's the universe's rejection is keeping you away from trouble. So then I'm not God then. How can I be God if I'm being stopped by something else and all my efforts are being thwarted? Do you understand what I'm saying, folks? So this is the dilemma that people face, why they don't have faith in these things and they don't place their trust or any of that. They don't empower it, because they think it's just a bunch of mumbo-jumbo made-up space nonsense. Like, outer space, this is ridiculous. I don't have time. I got to pay my mortgage and feed my kids. I don't have time for this. So you can't blame them. And it's a very delicate process. Like, in other words, you can envision something and assume the wishes of the feelings being fulfilled, and, your dreams already come true, and, knowing you have it already. And you, in this physical illusion, it's not showing you that. And this can go on for indefinitely. So this is really what allows people to understand that they have to be reliant on themselves, because they become very disillusioned and very disheartened by this thing. And that's why they just don't want to try it anymore. And then they see criminals being rewarded. People who are not good, cold, cruel, vicious individuals who are just constantly being rewarded with monetary prosperity and abundance. I mean, a plethora. And at the same time, the good-hearted people are being forced to be punished and suffer and struggle. And this is what causes them to say, it's just a bunch of nonsense. So my thing is, don't give up on God, but don't try to understand the process that was created long before the inception of your soul. Just know that there is a force out there, but it's not what you think it is. Because don't forget something. Everything that you're taught and told about what God is or what God isn't, this system filled your head with that stuff. So, and that's all a lie. None of it's true. You have to bring yourself to an area in your life where you just rely solely on your intuition, saying, where is it guiding me? What is my inner voice telling me to do, as long as it's a positive one? But the negative ones, ignore them, because they're just trying to get you to hurt yourself. And yes, they're real. Those voices you hear in your head, those inaudible voices, they're very real. You're not crazy. And this video is validation, because that happens to everybody, by the way. If you don't believe me, there's something called mirror work. And I don't advocate people doing this. If you do it, you're doing it of your own volition. You can consider this kind of like a disclaimer. I'm not responsible. I'm just allowing you to understand that this process is out there, that you go into your bathroom, turn out the lights, put your face right up against the mirror, and stare right at your face and watch how your face changes to evil, demonic entities. It'll scare the living daylights out of you. It's true. I've done it myself before when I didn't believe it. Many years ago, they told me, turn the lights on in your bathroom, go put your face right up in the mirror and stare yourself right in the eyes, and you watch your face change into demonic faces that will scare you to death. It's horrifying. So there's something outside yourself going on that you cannot control. But it's very disconcerting for when they tell you, you are God, you can do this, you can do that, and then when you try, you're blocked. So it's very contradictory and hypocritical to tell somebody something but not really mean it. And then when they actually do try and they're showing that they're taking the initiative, they're being, impeded for whatever. Then they say, well, God says, if you would have went down that road, it would have hurt you somehow. Well, let me find out. Why can't I have free will 100%, which we don't have, folks? You don't have 100% free will. You have a little bit of wiggle room, and that's really all you're given. Because if you had free will, you could say, I'm going to live forever. I'm going to be a trillionaire. I don't even want to get out of bed. I just want to manifest money and have a life of ease and simplicity and comfort. And I don't want to be a part of their system, if that were the case. I mean, like, look at the movie, Evan Almighty. That's a clear-cut example of how this whole thing works. It's actually something that you're not in control of, but we are a significant portion of. So this lends itself to say that there is something that is not superior in value, just power. That you cannot create an earth from nothingness, but Source can. So evidently we are Source, but not in the sense that we can create a universe that Source can. Like, look at birds and fish and squirrels and I mean, look at them, man. I mean, to create that from nothing, human beings don't have that power. So there's things that we have to, relinquish, which is attempting to control certain things. So in that aspect, it contradicts itself when they tell us that we're God. So I get it. It's like it's very backwards and upside down. For the people who don't appreciate anything, they get everything delivered to them. For the people who don't deserve anything, they get everything delivered to them. And for the people who do deserve and do appreciate, they get nothing. They have to struggle. They get their heart broken by a cruel, vicious, cold-blooded, cutthroat, vampiric system. And it's rough. So that's why people don't want to, wake up to this world a lot of times. And for the other people, they don't even want to be here. So they take certain actions to ensure that they won't be here, which I never advocate, because suicide is not a solution to anything. But nonetheless, I'm just saying, don't try to figure it out, because it's crazy and upside down. Because there's an old Middle Eastern saying that says, God must love crazy people because he sure makes a lot of them. So you got to really understand that there's a lot of credence to that. This universe is creating madness because it's coming from Source. So, all of these things exist for a reason that are leaving us perplexed because we don't understand why they're happening. But they're happening because this earth is supposed to have ingredients of every kind. It can't just be one or the other, because then there would be no need to be here. You would just wind up staying in heaven or wind up finding yourself in hell all over again. This is the in-between of this stuff. This is why they refer to it as third or middle. It's Middle Earth. So that's what it is. And if you try to figure it out with your mortal comprehension, you're always going to be stymied every time. And you're always going to be perplexed and confounded. It's just going to drive you nuts. So that's why people just stop caring. They appreciate everything. They enjoy their life. And they just, they don't even think about it. And that seems to be the way to go, man. Don't even think about why pedophiles are being rewarded and murderers are being taken out of prison and the victims of their crimes are being punished and thrown into the jails. Like I remember Liar Liar, where the movie Liar Liar many years ago, and the lady was telling him, she said, my friend had a criminal fall through a skylight and land on a butcher's knife in the kitchen, and the criminal sued my friend for $10,000, and what he say? I could have got him 20. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world, man. I mean, look what's going on right now all over the world. All these people from other countries, they're being rewarded. They're given free housing, Social Security, and the people that are in this country for years, they're being thrown to the street. And they're having their lives just ripped out from under them, and the government's raping them. It's backwards, and it's wrong. And it doesn't seem to be any stemming of the tide of this stuff. So you can't blame people for feeling what they're feeling. And this holds true for the universe, too. So the whole point of this video is just don't try to figure things out. Just do the best you can with your life by placing your life in a position where you are not reliant or dependent upon anything or anyone except yourself. And that's the way it has to be. And that is the logic in and amongst all of this lunacy, I feel. Anyway, have a blessed day.